anything as in a checklist kind of thing, but things that I might want to accomplish for the semester. One of the things that I'm going to have on mind for the fall, I need to get this certification as a mental health counselor. So I'm preparing for it for the summer. That's going to be one of them. Something that's a little bit more long step process. Keep thinking for yourselves for what do I want to accomplish this particular semester? In the realm of, I don't know, maybe your grades, maybe you want to join a club. What specifics do you want to accomplish for the semester? So that's the idea of beginning with the end in mind. And that's where the mission statement comes into play. Okay. The third one, put first things first. What does that mean to you?
Put things first that you don't want to do, that you usually delay, because then you'll never get them done.
Can you think about sometime? Prioritize. That's the key word. What are some of your least favorite subjects? Anybody?
Math.
Oh, I knew that was going to be there.
English.
English? Math? So whose least favorite subject is math? Show me your name.
Marianne.
Marianne, okay.
I like math.
Oh, you don't like? You don't like English. So which homework or assignment are you least likely to do? Probably.
Everything.
English is honest, yes.
I don't like English at all.
So you probably leave that one for very last, right? Anything that have papers, right? Science, you leave that behind. You know, in a way, we don't want to do those things that make us uncomfortable, that we don't like. You know, we leave them as important as they may be. We put them on the wayside. That's what happens. Habit number 4, think win-win. You've heard of that term these days too, right? What does that mean?
I'm guessing you can't see situations as, oh, if I'm going to win and he's going to lose. It's going to be like what we both benefit from doing
Exactly.
this.
What are the benefits to both of us? And how can we achieve it? Now, that doesn't mean, again, oh, this is an easy task to do, but it's possible. You know, what exactly are you going to do? You know, how do you do that?
Yeah, okay, I have an example. Like, for my social science teacher, she said she doesn't give a lot of A's in the class. She really just, like, for the last 2 semesters, she only gave 2 A's. So I was like, okay, I'm going to work hard to get a B+. That's not going to work. So I didn't work the best of my ability, and I got an A- in class. So if I probably had worked to the best of my ability, which I know I could have, I probably would have gotten an A+.
Yeah, you know that.
Also, you have to look at it on the bright side of things. Like, for example, on Christmas Day, as you know, you get older, less gifts are coming. As you can see, that's how some people see it, as getting less gifts. Or are you gaining more gifts? Because you didn't have the gifts before. So although it's like 2 and last Christmas was 4, just think of it, I just gained 2 more gifts that I didn't have.
So it's sort of like focusing on what you have rather than what you don't have.
Right.
That's definitely one of my favorite things to do now. I'm very grateful for everything. You know, we take a lot of things for granted. Even just living in this country, we have to be grateful for that. You know, things are very different in my native Haiti, you know, in many other countries in the world. So, you know, just being able to be here in this country, you ought to be grateful for that. Cheryl?
Because there's always a good and a bad thing. The good always outweighs the bad. So if you have that kind of mind.
Absolutely. You guys don't even need this stuff I'm sharing with you. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else want to have one more point?
I guess some bad experience, if you don't learn, it's just like a waste of time too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can always learn from a bad experience. There's always something good coming out.
Some of your best lessons learned are coming from bad experience, and I can give you a laundry list of all my negative ones and what they've helped me to do to grow as a person. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. The habit number 5 is seek first to understand, then be understood. Have you ever taken a communications class? Now I asked you that question, right? Yeah. Most of you have, or you will have to eventually, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Who's taken it already? Colleagues. Communication of speech, yes.
Yeah.
Any of you who've taken it already, did they have a topic or spin at all in terms of emphasizing listening at all as part of communication?
Yes.
Any give speeches? But the idea is that in terms of the communication and speech courses, they tend to focus a little bit more on everything else but the listening part. What I mean by that, you learn to read, write, math, and all the other special subjects you take in speech and so on. But not enough of it is spent on communication in terms of listening. And that's a very big part of communication. We can talk about delivery, how the person look, and so on, but the listening part is very, very important. I'm sure you've been in this situation where it doesn't happen quite often, but it does happen on occasion, when someone is really listening to you. You ever had that experience? You felt like someone was really listening to you? That's a very powerful feeling about that. And he says as part of that habit, number 5, we need to do that more. Because generally in our conversations, right, it goes something like this. Somebody's telling you something. Oh yeah, that happened to me too. Let me tell you what happened to me. Usually that's what we do. We're ready to give our own examples or, yeah, in agreement. Really, sometimes we need to take back and listen a little bit more as much as possible. So that's what he says about that one. The 6th one, synergize. He says that the idea is even greater than win-win. In other words, 2 people in a room. One of us is hot, one of us is cold. We need to open the window. One of us wants the window closed. How do you ultimately get the best? Like 2 + 2 = 3. That's the example that he gives. How do you ultimately get the best possible solution without feeling like, oh yeah, you can do it, like kind of compromising?
You open the window halfway or door halfway.
You could do that.
Give her a jacket.
You could put on a jacket, there's that. You could move away from the window. So many other ways. How do you actually get some kind of a positive, working more to achieve more? It's sort of like putting you in your groups. I'm sure your presentations are going to be so much better rather than if we had just said individual presentation, because you have so much input from everybody to do that. The last one is he calls sharpen the saw. This thing we're talking about, everybody said it already in here. Renewing yourself, keep learning that, Jose reminded us all the time. We need to always keep learning. And that's what he says. That's what I have up on the walls. He said we have these 4 dimensions of ourselves: your heart, your body, your mind, and your soul. You need to continuously renew them. Do you remember the story of the goose and the golden egg? Who remember and want to tell us? No? You don't remember? Somebody got to remember. Where, you remember? Anybody, somebody? That's okay, that's okay.
No child had
They tell the story, they have books, okay. You'll come back when I tell you. The goose and the golden egg. Remember the farmer had the goose, kept laying the golden eggs, and the farmer was pushing the goose to lay more, kept pushing the goose, coming back?
Holding on to the egg, and as the one person hold on to the egg, another person would hold on to the egg.
What happened to the goose at the end? What did the farmer do to it? It killed it. It killed it. Why? It is hot in here. I'm feeling it. It's a little warm again. Yeah, why did the farmer kill the goose?
Because he wasn't laying the golden eggs.
He wasn't laying any more golden eggs. Also, he was what?
When he says something like, it will jog one part of the story.
He was being impatient. What? He was being impatient because it wasn't fast enough, right? What should he have been doing with that goose? Praising it, maybe? Taking care of it, exactly, right? Taking care of it continuously. And that's what he says we need to do in these 4 parts of ourselves. Why? What's your most important asset? Yourself, your mind. It's not your car, it's not your house, it's not your bank account. It's really yourself. So you need to continually work on yourself. I'll give you a little bit of an example. I want you to move back a little bit and cross your legs. The way you normally would. It is warm in here.
We're trying to stay.
Cross your legs the way you normally would. Literally, not just your foot, your legs crossed. Okay. The way you normally would do it. Everybody have their legs crossed? Whatever way you usually do it. Okay. Then I want you to put it down. Put your feet on the ground. Then cross it the other way. The opposite way you usually do it. Okay, put it down, just like stretching. I'm torturing you. Put it down. Now I want you to cross your arms the way you normally do it. I do it this way.
Oh, I did this since I can.
Oh, you did? Put your hands down. Now do it the other way. This would be like that for me. Peter looks really confused. Somebody said they don't know how to do it. Jose is doing some kind of karate chop over here. Taisha looks very uncomfortable. What's going on the way you are now right now?
I'm uncomfortable.
You're uncomfortable. It's weird. It feels funny, right? What do you want to do immediately?
Go back.
You want to switch back to your comfort zone, exact wording that I was looking for. In other words, these habits, right? And we have to remember that some habits are positive, some are neutral, some are quite negative, right? We want to stay away from those negative ones, right? But the idea is that they're part of us. They are autopilots, part of who we are, right? What I'm going to do is very, very quick, short clip of the author telling you a little bit about what the 7 habits are and what they're not. Lights, please.
I'm delighted to welcome each of you to the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I believe that your involvement with this material can be one of the most exciting learning experiences of your life. The essential purpose of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is to learn how to lead your life in a truly effective way. To describe what the 7 Habits material is, let me share with you what it is not. It is not a quick fix program. It is not a program of the month. It is a process of personal and interpersonal growth and development that will require not only your continuing best efforts, but also your patience. As we all know, real growth and development cannot take place overnight. You must pay the price over an extended period of time to reap the benefits of these habits. Implementing the 7 habits will be an upward personal climb, like a journey up a steep mountain. It won't be easy. It will be a challenge. As you ascend the mountain, so to speak, with the 7 habits material, you'll become acutely aware of the loose gravel, the loose rocks in your life. You may slip occasionally, maybe even fall back a time or two. You will feel the gravity pull of old habits working against you. But I'll assure you, as you continue in your climb and endure in your efforts, you will begin to feel a level of exhilaration and of attaining entirely new heights in your life.
That's it, yeah. There's a longer version to everything. You remember I do this for like 8 hours, right? This is a short version. Okay. I want you to think about some of your own habits. Grab a piece of paper and you're going to write this down, because part of what I'm going to have you to do is do these different exercises. You're going to refer back to help you in writing your mission statement. Okay? I'll share one of my habits with you. 3 habits you're going to write down. The first one, write down a negative one. One of my negative ones is that I can be indecisive, which is really a no-no if you're a leader. Really is. And I'm not claiming per se to be a leader. But since you all are future leaders and all current leaders, I want to tell you that it is not a very good one. I'm very indecisive. I change my mind about stuff. So one negative one. One mutual habit. One of mine is that I like to eat eggs for dinner, especially if I don't have anything else to cook or eat, whatever. I love to eat eggs for dinner. It's not a bad or positive thing, it's just something that I do. And one positive habit that I have, I like to read. You tell me the name of a book, if I have a chance, I'm going to get it and read. I love to read.
The Child Called It.
What? Yes, I read that one.
Oh yeah, I read that
Yes.
too, by
Yeah.
David Post.
Yes, I read that one, definitely. So let's make a list, positive, neutral, negative of your habits. I know you have many more positive ones, right? Maybe. Everybody else a chance to write at least one for each one. Okay. Who goes to a school that's in the Bronx? Would you stand up, please? We all have the little ways we get students to volunteer for stuff, right? I didn't pick yellow like that. Okay. So could you share your positive habit with us, please?
You want me to start?
What is it?
You want me to start?
Yes, please. You and the first.
I set my goals high and I usually achieve them.
Very good. Thank you. Go ahead.
Oh, I wasn't thinking like that. Mine's totally different.
That's okay. It's your own.
Well, I have more, but I always have a tendency that I like double check the lock on the bathroom door.
You
For
want to
some
be
reason.
the bathroom? I thought you wanted to say the front door.
No, the bathroom.
You know, you want your privacy,
I
right?
always do that.
Okay.
So that's my positive one.
I always like to write and plan.
You write and plan. Very good. Thank you. Positive? Write and plan?
Positive.
No, I just want to make sure that we're saying.
Yes, positive. Locking the door, I don't know how positive that
Positive.
is.
Nobody want to see all of that. I don't want to have the door open.
I don't know, I mean, it could be, but it sounds more neutral to me.
There was only one idea I could say.
That's okay, yeah, fine, that's fine. Thank
I
you for
always try to
sharing.
look at the positive aspect of every situation.
Oh, good. That's a good habit.
I like to read books.
You like to read books, good. Thank you, Jose. You may sit down. You may be seated. Okay, who will go to a school that's in Manhattan? Please stand up. Could you share some of your neutral habits?
I love to play spades.
You love to play spades? I don't love to play spades. I used to.
We're going to teach
Yo.
you tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, you got
It's like
cards?
you're not alive. if
Keisha, you
you're
got
not-
cards?
I actually bought cards in their classroom.
Got it.
So I gotta
Yeah,
learn
let's
how
go.
to
We got that
play
game going.
spades. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Peter.
That way first, I think.
Oh, we'll come back to you.
I think I have something about it.
For Lee, you gotta come back. You didn't have a neutral one? I sat with you for lunch and I can't see remember your name.
Shanika.
Yes. Shanika, what are some of your neutral habits? Just one actually. Drink a lot of, that's a good one.
That's positive. That's
Even though I heard on the news the other day they weren't sure, right?
We're going to ignore that.
It's so hard to know what to believe.
yeah.
But that sounds more neutral, I would think. But thank you for sharing that. Tell us, neutral.
I just want maybe you to clarify like what's neutral. Like,
Neutral means it's not positive, it's not negative. Like my eating eggs at night. That's nothing wrong with that. Oh,
Hey, I like
it's not positive, it's not negative. It's not good, it's not bad.
Or can you just go either way?
Yeah, but like,
That's
Like,
how I
what do you
thought.
mean, like either way?
I said I give people the benefit of the doubt.
That's sort of a good one in a sense.
No, because sometimes I say, oh, that person didn't do that because of this and that, when they did do it because of that bad reason. Or sometimes it may go the right way, you know?
Yeah, that one is a little bit more questionable, I would say.
Yeah, that's why I put it
Yeah, that's a little bit more questionable. But neutral tends to be things, it's clearly not positive, it's clearly not negative,
A
right?
TV show that you like to look at.
Yeah,
that's
A
neutral.
game that you like to play.
yeah, that's neutral. Yeah, it's not good or bad, just because you like CSIs versus whatever else
Oh, I
that's on
love
TV.
Blue.
That's a Law and Order, whatever, it's not bad, it's
Liar.
good.
Then I'll say I like watching Pure Tequila.
Oh, yeah, you know, that's fine, whatever, that's neutral.
You wanna study law?
Tanika, did you share with
You want to
us?
study law, Marion?
basically,
Thank you.
I changed the style of eating. Like I stopped eating meat. So I look better.
That's a good one. That's some people may just be positive.
Sorry.
Jesse,
Yay!
see what you're doing today.
Alex,
I ain't doing that.
Yeah, I bite my nails a lot.
you bite your nails.
You're trying to
That
kill
could
me.
be negative, no? And not to be judgmental.
Yeah.
But
You see? Again, you're doing that.
Nah, I just
you have to play video games. That's probably more neutral.
That's being
Bing.
neutral.
Like to watch television? That's good. Long as it's not interfering with your goals and all the other stuff we're talking about. Bing, that's okay. Malik, you ready? Peter?
I check the time a lot.
You check the time a lot? Yeah, some people do that. Malik, go ahead.
I don't like touching the poles on the subway or the bus, so when I don't have to, I will.
That could be a positive one in a sense, but you don't want to become, I don't know, germophobic and paranoia about, yeah, I'm touching the germs, like that. So habits are that way. Did you write down for every single one of them?
Yes.
Okay. Now we're going to do something else. I want to read you a story.
Wait, you didn't go to the negative one.
You go to negative one? Oh, that's true, thank you. All the people go to school in Brooklyn.
Or Queens.
Go to school, we're going to school.
Everybody else didn't go.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Should I stand up?
Stand up.
Boonies.
Tell us some of your habits.
My negative habit?
Yes.
I care about what people think about me.
Too much?
Ooh.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like
Because I
that.
come across as confident, but I
Yeah.
have such a low self-esteem.
We gotta work on that. We gotta work on ways.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Ray. Taisha.
Last minute.
Procrastinating.
Oh, that's fine.
You have a few people here in common. Things with you, so it's okay.
That's crazy.
Daphne, thanks, Taisha.
I hate reading,
Oh.
but I enjoy writing though.
Okay. Jose,
I hate to wait.
you hate to wait.
Yes. I'm very impatient, yes.
If my son were here, he would say, "Mommy say hate is not a good word." Cheryl, you're a perfectionist, yes. Oh, I know. I am married to one. I know.
That's funny.
Thank you. Yeah, that could be, you know.
Sit on my
Yeah. Go ahead, Mary.
Mary,
Mary.
I hold a lot of stuff in, but when I do crack, it's war.
Oh, you watch out. Thank you.
That was a hint.
Yes.
War. It's war.
Forgiveness, your
It's on the book.
chance. First.
Sign your book.
Yeah. I know, it's like the yellow thing. You
It's
don't
not
know.
like negative, but a lot of people
Yeah.
take
They
it
could
away.
fit you right here. Person is really something. Thank you for sharing. You mean what else? Indecisive, yeah. I have to work on that. Yeah, and especially as a leader, not just so much as a leader, you need to be able to make decisions. Firmly. Natasha, thanks, Melissa.
My own, well, sort of procrastination, sleeping in, looking at
What's up? I'll go back and watch this out.
Looking at what family?
Motivation.
Yeah, that's not a bad.
papers to do.
Which are papers already to family. Okay, thanks.
And sleeping in, really, helping, I see it, sometimes it could be bad when I help people a lot. Like, it's a neutral thing, I like helping people, I like giving assistance, and like my friends.
At your own expense sometimes?
You stop helping yourself and help them
Exactly.
Yeah,
instead.
start loading up on those
Help them
contacts.
first.
With all my friends, I just
do that?
like put me on the back burner and just there you go.
Thank you for sharing. Anthony.
One negative thing is that I'm sometimes over conceited.
Yes.
You
You want to hop on in the beginning? You want to hop
You're overconfident?
Conceited.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You go around with your pictures of yourself?
See, everybody could agree.
Looking at me like,
Thanks for sharing, Anthony. Go ahead.
seems to know when I felt my
Procrastinator, sometimes I could be like not caring. I'll drop every.
No, I didn't know it. That's why I looked at you that way. I was like, oh, wow.
Jesse?
Yes.
Respectful.
Sorry.
Thank you for sharing all of these habits with me. Just keep them on the side for there. We'll come back to, you look at them as you work on your mission statement. I want to share a story with you. One of the things that, a way of introducing the habits is this way. The first three about what he called private victory. Be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put first things first. They have to do with you. You say yourself, private victory. The next three have to do with public victory. In terms of communication with others, of course, think win-win, respect to understand and be understood, and synergize. We spent a lot of time talking about communication, and you had a great session this morning, so and I don't have much time, so I sort of leave those three alone. In this session, we really spend more time on 1, 2, 3, and then come back to 7. Just understand that I didn't forget all about them, but because of time, and I know that we have so much on communication, I just sort of left them alone. Okay. In addition to the relationship he explains of the habits being very real, being very holistic, the relationship between them is very important. Now, holistic means you're not necessarily going from habit 1, then you go to 2, then you go to 3, and that way in the process, in the sequential way. Rather, it's a relationship that goes back and forth a little bit. But he does say you need to master the first 3 in a sense of self-awareness first before you get to public victory with your relationship with people. What's the other thing I wanted to remind you right now? I want you to think of someone who you're going to share this information with. It could be a classmate, a coworker, a parent, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, only because when I did my training, one of the things we had to do, because obviously it was over a course of days, and eventually when I do this with students, they get to do homework and share with other people. think of someone, and if you remember from yesterday, Dean Williams reminded us that one of the things you want to do is surround yourself with support systems in school, wherever you want. And I do that very well, I tell you. Especially in my neighborhood, because I'm new, I didn't have any family around, it was just me and my husband, but it's amazing how many people in my neighborhood I'm so close with now, because I needed that support. You know, you have 2 small children, you're out in the middle of nowhere, you may need somebody. So anyway, think of someone who you want to share this information with, of this workshop in particular, but in general about this conference. What did you get out of it? I want you to write down the person's name. Who are you going to share this with? It could be more than one. The more the merrier.